Well, welcome to Sky Blue Fans TV. So after we suffered in Suffolk, let's talk about the Sky Blues bounce-back-ability. We did it once before and we can do it again. We will look back onto the disappointing result at Ipswich, but did the performance merit that result? Defensive frailties at the time, maybe we might not be so conservative away from home in some matches, but so far this season, pushing forwards for 75% of the matches has got us to where we are now. So we've got Preston on Tuesday and Bristol City on Saturday. Hoodoo's aside, we've still got a good chance of getting 6 points and maintain momentum. So no doom and gloom tonight. We're going to stay positive. And let's think about all the positive things about the Sky Blues this season. And there's been plenty of them, but we will be discussing the game. I've got with me tonight Vicky. I'll just bring her in. Good evening, Vic. How you doing?
Good evening. Good, thanks. Very impressed that you said bounce back ability, so that's impressive.
I didn't have any wine this evening, so I'm all right. And also, we've got, well, Miles isn't here because he's travelling back from Ipswich still. And no doubt if he was here, he'd be very angry about the referee because he wasn't the best yesterday. Jack has been on a 2-day bender, I think, since his Christmas do on Friday, and he's not compos mentis still, although he says he is, but I don't believe him. But we have Ken, who's travelled back all the way from Suffolk, especially to come on tonight.
Yeah, I've raced back down the A14.
Yeah. I can't believe you raced back from anywhere. Now, before we crack on and talk about the game tomorrow, Vicky, do you mind reading out some comments to start with, so we don't get so much of a backlog?
Yeah, of course. So just a couple to start with, actually. So Uncle Jonga's come on and he's put roll on Tuesday against Preston North End. Doug King, if you're watching, we do need a couple of additions in January, which I know we're going to chat about later in the show, aren't we? So he's just obviously talking about the leanness of the squad. Paul Cutterford's come on to say, I could take a loss and I could take a bad loss, but players not getting sent off and then scoring is hard to take. Yet another ref from the Premier League that can't make or won't make a decision without VAR to back him. So obviously we'll cover that as well. Cover the hello doors, and then Glenn's just mentioned about the FA Cup draw on Monday, who we all want. So we'll have a chat about that as well. Realms of Possibilities said, last minute tactical changes due to Torp dropping out. Awful ref. A draw would have been a fair result, but football is football. Bring on Preston. Frank Wood said we could have been 3-0 up before they scored. It's true, actually, isn't it? So I think obviously get Ken's thoughts on that in a bit. And Big Peter said, thought it was a great atmosphere yesterday and we came off second best, but the ref was terrible and bottled it on 2 occasions. And that's pretty much it for the moment.
Okay, so we had surprise omissions from the starting lineup, and this is the problem we got now with the squads. I don't think it's not so much the squad size, but the squad depth in terms of ability in key areas being a problem. So Ken, you're there, you get the lineup. I fell asleep, you know. I said to Caroline, I'm going to have a lie down. Is that getting to me already? I'm going to have a lie down. And I woke up at something like 2:10, and I thought, oh no, the lineup's out already, isn't it? And I looked at it and I thought, what's he done here then? And I just couldn't. The one that stuck out for me was Torp, because I thought, for some reason in my head, with all the rumours, I just thought that Radoni was going to be out. But I could see him in the team instead of Torp. I thought, oh, what's happened here? So had you heard anything beforehand? Was there any rumours circulating?
No, it was a shock to me. I didn't expect that at all. I didn't expect Torp to be out. We all were thinking that Sakamoto might be back. It was such a 50-50 whether he'd be back or not. But Amadoni, we might have thought might have been on the bench because of his fitness, and he's only just come back from injury. But Torp was a big blow to me and a big blow to a lot of the fans because he's been playing well. He's a really important player, and we seem to function a lot better when he's in the team. Chances are created, and his relationship with the other players on the pitch, and he knows where the ball went, where to play the ball, and stuff like that. Him and Grimes have got a good relationship. So I think it was a big blow when he was announced that he wasn't playing.
Now, Sakamoto, Ken, apparently he could still be missing for Southampton, it's all to do with protocol with this concussion thing. Danny was on yesterday. He sent me a whole thing through all the blurb about it, and it depends when you go back to training, and there's lots of things involved in that. So we don't even know if he's back on Tuesday. But Kane Kessler-Hayden came in. I was quite pleased with that, but it doesn't give you the same sort of attacking prowess that Sakamoto does he? He's not going to get the crosses in like Sakamoto either.
No, that's right. Yeah, Sakamoto is a massive miss, especially for someone like Sims, because he relies on his chances, and obviously Sims didn't really get a lot of service yesterday. So there was no Sakamoto in the team. We seem to struggle, and Torp is another one that supplies the through balls and the crosses for Eddie Sims and the forward players, because they're both forward-thinking players, aren't they? And to lose two players of that calibre, in a big game against a team like Ipswich, who have got big squad, as we know, is a massive blow. And I think that's what we struggled on. And I think, if we had those two players playing, if we had same against Wrexham, when we lost against Wrexham, we had, players missing. And I just think we have to have our full strength team out there, really, because the strength in depth is not there.
Vicky, it's not a straight swap, is it, though, Kessler-Hayden? That's the problem, isn't it?
No, I mean, there's all sorts of factors there, isn't there? The relationship that him and Milan have got is massive. They're not straight swap players. It's not like for like, is it? And I think, and the trouble is as well, Kessler-Hayden hasn't had a lot of football. He hasn't, like the way the team have been playing, he hasn't had a lot of opportunity. I mean, from what the Preston fans were saying, he will get forward and be progressive, but he's still trying to find his feet in our team because he's only had limited opportunities, hasn't he? So I think there's all sorts of factors there which make it not ideal. And I think it's a bit like the Wrexham game, isn't it? If it had just been Sakamoto and Kessler-Hayden straight swap on its own with everyone else playing, probably could have coped with that. But it's a bit like when we had to change the whole back line against Wrexham. That's some key players missing from midfield and sort of attacking positions altogether, and that's the bigger problem, isn't it? It's not. If it was an isolated incident, we could have probably covered that, but it's the losing the likes of Asante, Torp, and Sakamoto in one game, all the various options that they give us, and that's the problem.
And also, you've got to look at Ipswich's bench, which is ridiculous. When you got that Azon, Akpom, Kajuste, Jack Clark, Greaves, McAteer, Schmodix, Ashley Young, even.
It's £20 million, isn't it?
Well, they reckon the squad's worth 300 million, is what they're saying. It's the most expensive ever in Championship history. So, and we've gone there with basically not a full starting 11 and a bench where we've had to pull in a goalkeeper because we haven't got enough cover because of the late illness. That's happened 2 or 3 times now, hasn't it? A late illness.
Yeah.
Whether it's food poisoning at the hotel or what, I don't know. But
someone sabotaging.
It's frustrating. It is frustrating now. We had 2001 fans made the trip. Were you the one, Ken? I noticed I saw that.
I could have been the odd one. Yeah, you never know. It could have been.
Now I'm watching the game. I'm writing notes down, and I put 5 minutes, decent start, midfield battle, EMC heavily involved, lots of tussles with Furlong. It was quite a physical battle, and the only thing, Vicky, with EMC, sometimes his enthusiasm gets the better of him, and needless fouls, and it's frustrating because the referee just blows up every time. It's so annoying.
Yeah. I think it's just learning. It's like you said, it's just enthusiasm sometimes, isn't it? It's learning about the higher you go up the football pyramid, the more you've got to cut that out of your game because the ref will just blow up instantaneously. But I guess you can't criticise his enthusiasm, and that's better than not trying, isn't it? So
true. Now, Ken, I'll listen to the interview by it's McKenna, isn't it? The manager, is it McKenna? Yeah. It was a backward criticism of our long throws, basically saying we were time wasting. Is that how you look at it?
No, that's a load of nonsense, isn't it? I mean, I'm sure he's done plenty of long throws in his time as player and manager, but it's just, I know a lot of the Premier League use it as well, don't they? So it's not, I wouldn't say it's time wasting. It's a threat, isn't it? It's just as good as having the corner sometimes when you have a long throw. And because we've scored from a few of them, I suppose they don't like it.
And also, I think it was basically a reflection of the first half, because I didn't. Now I've watched extended highlights and watched the game. I've watched the extended highlights about 2 or 3 times now. All the highlights is basically us attacking. So I wonder sometimes, Ken, do we need to change our approach when we play away from home or against sides like Ipswich? Because the one thing they can do is counter-attack really quickly.
They can, and they were very good at counter-attacking. But we were coping. First half, I thought we coped with them quite well. And a little bit more luck, with Eccles where we had that shot, and it was a great save from the keeper, tips onto the post. If that had gone in, it could have been a different game, as we all know. Goals change games, don't they? They got the little lucky break in the end, and they got the goal just before our time. So it all swung in their favour, if you like.
Yeah. Vicky, the chance though from Kessler Hayden, I reckon you, Ken, I reckon Ellis Sims would have been a lot closer as well. Sakamoto, definitely.
I didn't want to mention that chance. I've got all about it. You reminded me.
I was at my seat, Vicky. I thought that's in, and you could see the reaction from the players.
Yeah. Well, even his own reaction, he knew, didn't he, that he'd messed that up. I mean, I'm not sure I'd score that, because I think I'd probably be the same as, Eccles said the other week that he closed his eyes and just went doink. That'd be me. So I could probably miss it. So, yeah. The frustrating thing actually is I think Sakamoto would have scored that, and that's a shame, because he's good at that back post position in those situations. And it just changed, things like that change the game, don't they? It's just if we'd have took the lead, because I think it's one of those games. It could have gone any way. It could have been any result yesterday. And if we'd have scored first, we could have gone on to win. It could have been a draw. Obviously, I don't think 3-0 is an accurate reflection of entirely everything that went on in that game. And so if we had got ahead first, it just changes the dynamic, doesn't it? So it's just a shame, really. And it'd have been nice for him, like coming in, getting a chance, getting a goal. So all in all, it's just a bit of a disappointment, isn't it?
Right, Vicky, do you want to read some comments, and then we'll get on to the controversial part of the game in that first half?
Yeah, cool. So Ralph Wiggins has said, hi folks, play up Sky Blues. Don't be too downhearted, but you can see how strong the squad Ipswich have got. Like you said, Claudia, the bench is just it's just a different gravy, really, isn't it? And sort of probably following on from that, James Hollyoak has said, when we were losing, we only had Alan to come on to change the game. And no disrespect to him, but he's not going to change that game. And I guess that's the things that you're looking at, the players that Ipswich could bring on versus what we could do, and that's a problem. Rich T has said, concerned about talk for Tuesday. If he was ill on Saturday, is he going to be well enough by Tuesday? So I guess it depends exactly what was wrong.
If he's got a stomach bug, just play him in some tenor pants or whatever they're called. Just put a big nappy on him.
Colin Bradford's put their keeper made some great saves, which is true. Yeah,
well, he did. He got man of the match.
He did, didn't he? The fans voted him man of the match. So there you go.
So I think sometimes probably because we're disappointed and a bit downhearted, we haven't some when you read social media, I think people forget that we did have chances and their keepers pulled off some good saves, and it could have been a different outcome, couldn't it? But so Paul Shuttensburg, it's a better place than Preston, where we've never won, to show some real character and come away with 3 points. Will we get the reaction to get back on track? And then a very hard away game. But you're right, Paul. Get a result there. That's
Vicky. Sorry, that man of the match reminds me of Ron Atkinson years ago. I think most of you will remember it. Southampton away. I think it was 0-0. We lost 1-0.
I think he threw his headphones off at somebody, didn't he?
Yes, because he said it was Richard, what's the name, interviewing, because obviously he's a cough, isn't he?
Richard Keys.
That's it. And he said, he's basically trying to say the team wasn't trying. And he says, are you telling me? He goes, who got man of the match then? Their keeper did. Well, there you go then. It wasn't that bad, was it? It's kind of thing. And
took his headphones off and threw them back.
Yeah, it was kind of like that yesterday, I thought, actually. Go on. A few more comments, sorry.
So Valve's a possibility has said, I like Frank's post-match interview, so covering that. He was not happy at all with the loss and the ref. Hope he sets a fire under the team for Tuesday. Mark Rainbest, but when I was involved with ice hockey, we had a player out for 11 weeks because of the way it affected his balance. you have to wait for the swelling on the brain to go down. Hopefully it's not as bad as that for Sakamoto. And there's a few people commenting about the bench and the sort of the different depth and everything. And Frank Woods put, I thought Ipswich targeted EMC from the off. Wayne, let's see what Wayne's got to say. Wayne Woods put, sorry, evening all from Dubai, disappointed, and defence again all over the place. Is a concern that we've looked very vulnerable over the last 5 to 6 games despite winning. Salop CCFC said, when was the last time we scored a goal on the break? We've scored a few, but the other team seemed to do it to us. I guess Middlesbrough, the first goal against Middlesbrough was because Torp broke, didn't he? That's probably the last one I can think of.
But the way we play, you're always going to have the other team coming at us. Obviously, because we're a very forward-thinking team, aren't you? So you're always vulnerable to do that. It's just how we defend it, isn't it?
Got one from Ian. Oops, sorry. Computer's gone funny. Can I get Ian's up? Right, here we go. Players out is part of the story, but a basic error by the ref, followed by a basic error by Kitch, killed it. EMC has to learn soon, or the young Swede might take over, move on, and win on Tuesday. And then just finally, Ice Chips has put, the turning point was Eccles needed us book in. He couldn't make a tackle for fear of being sent off, and we had no one on the bench to replace him.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I've got a timeline here, if you just bear with me. So 15 minutes, first yellow, George Hurst. Then virtually straight away, yellow, Eccles kicking the ball away. Initially, I think that's what it was for, although I can't tell because we mentioned it yesterday. He threw his arms in the air, so we don't know if it was kicking the ball or showing a bit of petulance. Either way, you can get booked for either, so it doesn't really matter, does it? And then 19 minutes, Eccles has the shot, which just goes wide actually from 6 yards out. Then we had the KKH should have scored, and then on 27 minutes, Eccles' shot hits the post. EMC has another shot, which the keeper saves, and it went for the corner straight from it. And that was the first corner of the game, actually, for us, 27 minutes. And then 29 minutes, so in the space of 4 minutes where we could have taken the lead possibly twice, Hurst is put through. Now, when I saw it the first time, I missed the bit where he kicked it, and it was a close-up shot. And I actually thought it didn't look that bad. But when you see it from the distance, it's terrible. He's gone through. It's gone through, and it's. I mean, you were there, Ken. If you're a referee, that's a second yellow.
We've seen it straight away, and we all said, "Hold on a minute, it's been booked already." Though, and he's just kicked it miles. The keeper had to go and fetch it miles wide, well after the whistle had gone. You know, so he knew what he was doing, and he knew. I think he probably knew. Oh, well, I shouldn't have done that because I'd already been booked, but he knew he got away with it, definitely without a doubt, because all the players ran to the ref. Every one of the Cov players ran to the ref and saying, "Look, he's booked. It's a yellow card. He's kicked the ball away." And whatever the referee, I'd love to hear what the referee said, but he was like going like, you know, with his hands like that and blah blah blah. And he said something to him. I don't know what he said to him, but I don't know what he can say to him because it's a clear yellow card, isn't it?
It wouldn't surprise me. The flag's gone up. He's blown it, and then the referee switches off. Because it's a free kick, it's probably even turned away or something, probably not even seen that he's booted it, which then it's down to the assistant and the fourth official.
Exactly, and that's what they're to do, to assist the referee. But they failed to do that.
No, I don't know, Vicky, with something like VAR, would he still get a yellow card for that? Could it be looked at?
I don't know. I don't think they look into that, do they? Yeah, I don't think that would be an incident that would get looked at, because it's a bit like when O'Hare got, I don't know if you remember when O'Hare got kicked in the head at the Wolves game, and because it wasn't in the penalty box and it wasn't part of anything like goal related, they said VAR can't look at it, and that bloke would have clearly got a booking for that, but they said it doesn't get covered by VAR.
That's total nonsense, isn't it? VAR
should be everything, shouldn't it?
Should be everything on the pitch. If it affects the game, could affect the game, could affect the result. VAR are there to assist the referee in whatever way, shape, or form. Isn't it? Well, it should be,
shouldn't it? They made a mess of it in implementation, I think, across the board. But that's a whole other topic, isn't it, about VAR? But yeah, I think for me, the frustrating thing about that booking or not booking is so he's obviously not giving it because it's going to be a red card then for me. Like he's thinking I don't want to send him off for that. And I agree with that to a certain degree. I agree with that to a certain degree. We don't want to see games spoilt and players sent off for silly infringements. But the rules are the rules. And the issue is that Eccles gets booked for the same thing for his first yellow. He wouldn't then think twice about giving him a second yellow for a tackle. So just because it's the other way around, you're not making the same decision, and that's the inconsistency, and that's my issue. It's the inconsistency, and it's the fact that then Eccles is on a yellow card for the whole game, so it affects his ability to tackle because he did that first. But Hurst has got away with a second infringement because he did the tackle first and then the petulance afterwards, and that's just wrong. And I mean, for me, it didn't actually change the game. I think their goalkeeper's performance is made the difference, and we just made some silly defensive mistakes. So I think him staying on or going off isn't the turning point of the game for me. But it's just that inconsistency is just wrong and frustrating.
But you just knew after that he was going to go on and score, didn't you?
Yeah.
Later.
Yeah. Well, he was going to anyway, wasn't he? Because George Hirsch and he all scores against us. So I always.
When I was. I just lost my thread there. I've got it back now. Don't worry. We were talking about who was reffing the game, if you remember, 2 days before. And I said, it's Paul Tierney. And I remember Vicky was saying, you noticed that he actually hadn't refereed yet. He'd been on VAR duty. And you said he made the big, massive cock-up against Newcastle and Spurs, didn't he? Where he intervened when he probably shouldn't have intervened. And he's been fourth official. So I think that was actually his first game of the season where he's properly refereed, which is, I mean, why shove him in a game like that in the first place? Which is so frustrating. But regardless of that, he's not been sent off. Like you say, it didn't really change anything because something like that shouldn't affect us. It's not like it's a 2-footed tackle and he's got away with a straight red or something. It's just annoying because he'd already done the same down the other end and booked one of our players. But what's really annoying is what happened after that, because we lost our discipline completely in defence and we could not clear our lines for about 3 or 4 minutes. I mean, it was a corner after another corner. I mean, they had 2 corners and it was so frustrating. So we've kind of cleared it. The first time, I think, Rushworth comes out and Bobby Thomas takes it away from him and heads it for another corner. We then look like we've cleared it. Unfortunately, Ellis has got to do better there. He's gone forward. He's completely lost the flight of the ball when he probably should have just held his ground and dumped the guy on the floor or something. But even so, he's missed it. The ball then bounces. Kessler Hayden comes out, Ken, doesn't he? Completely takes an air shot. It goes out wide, and then everybody retreated to the 6-yard line. And the one thing Dan said yesterday was, watch Kessler Hayden. He's running around like a maniac in the penalty area. I didn't notice that the first time.
Yeah.
And he was all over the place in that penalty box, trying to close something down that wasn't there. The only thing he wasn't closing down was somebody on the top of the box. There was 4 players lining up for that shot. So, and when it went in, you just think, I can't believe that. We've basically been all right all game. I get the classic Caroline says, how they're getting on, a couple of minutes half time. Hopefully hopefully we'll hold out a goal. I thought, so you must have been frustrated, Ken, watching that because it's your end of the pitch.
Yeah, it was our end of the pitch. It all happened down there, and we were very frustrated because it's a poor goal, really. It's poor defending, and I think obviously Lampard will have to have a look at that. But at the end of the day, it could have easily been avoided. And it's just one of them frustrating things. So they score and they get just shortly before half time, and they get the upper hand then, don't they? They go into the break with more confidence than us, and that's just the most frustrating because we knew we should be winning in that game. Well, I thought first half we did okay. We wasn't bad at all. And it was just things went against us, and half time was very frustrating to be 1-0 down.
Well, I've written here, Vicky, first half summary, Rodoni not really involved, which he wasn't really. No. Retention not great in key areas, but we hit the post and didn't look like conceding.
No, look, we were the better team in the first half of that doubt, I thought.
Yeah.
But they took their chance and that was it. And you're right about Rodini. Rodini was nowhere near. I don't think he's quite there. He's going to take him a few games before he gets back to full fitness.
Is that the great Rudini? Or who's Rudini? He sounded like you're the bloke who rang up CWR last night and kept going about Rudini. I thought it was Rudini. You got some more comments, please?
Paul Cuttipper's put, so I don't know if you said anything about this, Ken, at the ground, but he's put a strong point needs to be made about the treatment given out to disabled supporters yesterday. Very poor with grown men being reduced to tears. I know it's a downer, but it must be highlighted. And actually, I've seen a few posts on social media today about the conduct of their stewards to some fans. So I don't know whether you saw anything.
Well, I didn't really think we were in the upper tier. There's some things going down on the bottom tier with people standing in the way, or people, stewards not moving fans to the right seats and just standing there not doing anything about it. People trying to get to their seats. It was very congested. It's very tight away end, and there seemed to be a lot of people in the gangways yesterday for whatever reason, standing in the gangways, so blocking everybody getting past. So, and there was a lot of people arguing with stewards. I could see that at half time. But I think the incident you're on about, I think happened maybe in the lower section. I don't know, but I could definitely see the stewards arguing with City fans about seats and whether they not in the correct area or whatever. But seemed to be a lot of people standing up and in the way of other people.
Well, that's also down to our fans as well, then.
It is, yeah. I don't know.
Behave.
Yeah. I don't know whether people just sort of decided to stand there and watch the game and not bother going to their seat or whatever. But it was very congested, certainly in the top section, because when we even trying to get out to go to the toilet was a bit of a nightmare because you couldn't get down the stairs because the gangway was full. Now that gangway is supposed to be clear, isn't it?
Health and safety.
They just about get down there. So, and the stewards are all standing there. They're not actually telling them to move, or I don't know. I don't know what the problem was.
Right, Paul. If you've got a pen and paper, I'll read this out. What you need to do is contact accessibility@ccfc.co.uk. That takes you to the guy who's in charge of all people with disabilities at the ground. Is the main man. So accessibility@ccfc.co.uk. I only got his details on Thursday because I'm trying to get him on the show actually and talk about what the club are doing around the ground and it involves any kind of disabilities, not just wheelchair users. It's all kinds. It's very interesting what they do. And one of the key things we're talking about was accessibility. And we've said we've got issues at our ground because there's no pathway to get to the seats. And now it's even worse. I mean, Jack suggested they do like a snake trail to the bars. So, we're not all queuing face on basically because apparently, because you think about it now, it didn't matter years ago. You could play football. Well, they used to play football, didn't they? In the concourse, the kids did. Well, you can't now. There's no room, basically. So if everyone's queuing for a beer and someone comes through with a mobility scooter or a wheelchair or crutches, you cannot get through. It is an issue. I mean, I had the issue with Luca when he was on crutches when he had his knee job, and it is tricky, But the thing is, he's quite youthful. But if you're elderly and you're struggling, there are problems. The majority of fans step out of the way, are courteous, but it's very hard when people have had ale. It's a different kind of mentality sometimes, and especially on an away day. And for some reason, and I know it's an away day, you can sit where you want and all that. Have a bit of respect, basically. You can't sit anywhere. It's not your privilege just to turn up and sit anywhere. And I know with the supporter groups, they clump us all together because you're traveling with your mates. And that's the idea. And we kick them out now if they're in our seats.
Yeah.
Just go and be where you're meant to be. Simple as that. I don't care who you are. Anyway, so Paul, sorry about that. Accessibility@ccfc.co.uk. And I'll think of his name in a minute. I can't think of his name at the minute. And he's a good guy. He's trying really hard because we've got issues at our ground as well. So it'd be good for you to email him and tell him exactly what happened and what you saw. And maybe that will get on to Ipswich as well. But we know somebody in the Leamington supporters group had the same issue with their kid, which was a bit not very nice when they have to sit in certain parts of the stadium, for their well-being, and you got idiots who won't move when they know they're not meant to be there in the first place.
Is it Eamon Collins?
Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
I was going to say Damon, but it's Eamon, isn't it? I'm glad you said that. Eamon Collins. And they'll jump on it straight away. They will. Vicky, comments again. Sorry.
Comment. Yeah, no, sorry, that's a important deviation. So Finn's put, evening all, with Torp, Tats and BTA out, we should have gone for a low block and tried to counter. I think Lamps played it wrong, but hey ho, we go again. Cam 7367's put, the refs' marginal decisions are understandable, but clear-cut, obvious decisions need to put the result behind us, but pressure needs to be exerted where it can to get the standards of refereeing up. And I think that's totally right. It just seems to be declining, doesn't it? And the trouble is, look, the managers can't come out and say much because then they get in trouble. But at some point, you need to do something just to say, look, what can we do to make this better? Because it's affecting results and everything, isn't it? So, yeah. And so Mark Turnbull's put, hi all, since Stoke away, our defence is getting found out a lot. The problem is until yesterday, we managed to turn it around. Thought we would nick a point at Ipswich. We need something at Preston. Otherwise, a small points gap will encourage those below us. David Granger's put, I know Vidoni has been out for a while, but I don't think we are deploying him to get his best football. I seem to remember him playing deeper for Huddersfield, and I think we should. We'll chat about that in a bit. Cam 7367's put, talk of changing tactics, etc. The we'll score one more than you philosophy is fine, 7 points clear, and in mid-December, as that bloke on Dad's Arm used to say, don't panic.
He has got a good point though, because we're playing a certain way. We've only lost 2 games, and both games, if I'm honest, at the start of the season, if you'd have said to me which 2 away games you guarantee we're going to lose this season, I'd have said Wrexham and Ipswich straight away, because I just think we've got a rubbish record at Ipswich and Wrexham because of the story and all the rest of it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And as it happened, we get there, we've got no defence, and against Ipswich, we've lost, was it 30 odd goals from our attack and creativity? So straight away we haven't got our strongest side. So it was always going to be an issue. And the 4-3-3, I don't think is ever going to change unless it's mid-game.
Yeah. By this time last season, Leeds had lost 3 games, so we're doing better than that. Leeds had lost 3 games by this time last season, so we're still on track. It's all positive. Right, so Ralph Wiggins said, I think the standard of the refs this season has been absolutely atrocious. How many pens have we got from what we should have had? Yeah. I mean, there's that Milan one. It's talking about the 4th officials and the assistants, isn't it? Really, as well, I think, because like with that's 2 instances now, actually, probably where the ref could have done with some help from his linesman, like the Milan penalty question and then that Hurst one. Both times, the lineman's probably the best placed person to say. And are they giving the refs the assistance that they need? And so it's always the ref that gets all the abuse because it's the person who's like the focal point. But they're a team, aren't they?
Yeah, let me just say, the 4th official, if you probably notice this sometimes, when a referee books a player, he writes it down as well. You might see him. He gets his little thing and writes a booking down. And I think that's just to clarify this so they can marry up if he's not sure who he booked. You'll see the 4th official on the touchline marking down the booking while the game's going on. So he clearly knew that player had been booked, and et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. So there was absolutely no hesitation that there was a second yellow card that should have been a red. So and that's what his job is, to do that. So he should communicate them. They're all linked up, and say, well, hold on, that guy's just you already booked him, John, or whatever his name is, the ref. That's a second yellow,
John.
Yeah, but it's all down to interpretation, because he doesn't have to change his mind in the Championship, does he?
No.
He'll probably say, oh, that could have been a second yellow, and he'll go, yeah, I don't think he really meant to kick it off the pitch. That's it.
Well, the whistle had gone like ages ago. If it was like, if he was just on the whistle or whatever, then okay, let him get away. But the whistle had gone ages before. Before he booted it. He booted it away in frustration. You can see what he did.
Well, the possibilities put. So does this break the Claudio away curse, and can Claudio go again now? I don't think it break it.
I'll put my name down for Blues away. Can I just say, today, it's a year today that I saw my last away win at Millwall, which was
Wow.
Frank's first away win. So it's a year ago today. Who'd have thought we'd be where we are now a year later? So, it's not all bad, is it?
No,
I don't know if you guys saw this, but Rich T's put what has been going on at the end of the Bristol Millwall match with Bristol getting banned. That was a right melee, wasn't it?
Well, was the manager on the floor?
Yeah. So what happened was he goes to shake their guy's hand, the manager. There's some sort of pulls his hand away. So he obviously says something. Then is it Zach Knight came over and basically shoved him to the floor. Now that's a sending off. So that may get looked at. He could be missing for next Saturday.
Well, it could be a few red cards by the looks of some of the stuff I saw.
Exactly. But it's so awful to look at, isn't it? I mean, I know there's a lot of handbags, and I've seen more. I was going to say I've seen better fights in the ladies' toilets. Obviously not.
What are you doing to the ladies' toilets, Claudio? Is that something you want to tell them?
Trying to get out. Although it happened again at the CBS. Oh, me and Luke are dashing down the stairs again. Just you're busting to go. And I just ran in. We both went, oh no, this is the ladies. Because the doors are that far apart, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's my excuse, Your Honour, and I'm sticking to it.
Scobie Gibbs put, remember Portsmouth away last season? This was a better performance, but we don't do weekend sides very well. But what came after that? That's right, actually, isn't it? We were all disillusioned after the Portsmouth game last season, and then we went on the right one, didn't we? So it's all about how we bounce back on Tuesday, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just a blip. It's no drama at all, is it? Alex has put, from a visual impaired man, he's rejoicing at the bright orange kit because it makes it easier for him to say. That's so positive about the kit.
I think Alex needs to grab the whistle because he's already one up on the referee.
Yeah. Robbo's put, several of our best players were out, and we were still the better team in the first half. Watchman, Tats, Torp, Wright, Redini, and Co were firing on all cylinders, plus additions in January. Do you want to? Wait a minute.
Do a couple more.
Dave Sports has put, Ken, surely that stuff about the fourth official intervening is only going to apply if the ref books a player twice without realising he's not going to help make the ref make decisions.
No, he's not. But you're right there. But I just thought if the referee didn't realise he'd already been booked, he could point it out that he had. But yeah, you're right. The referee's got the final decision at the end of the day.
I just think the fourth official is a sounding board for the managers, because what do they actually do apart from do the subs? I don't understand their role. What's the point of a fourth official? I suppose back in the day he'd be sat in the stand, wouldn't he, as a reserve in case he gets injured. But
they are all mic'd up. What's the point of micing them all up so they can hear each other if they're not going to help each other?
Yeah, I don't understand. I need to get that cleared up by some referees, probably. I don't know.
Well, there's one final comment then. One final comment. Mandy said, as a side, we give an unbelievable number of one-on-ones to Rushworth to deal with, and that's something to address.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. We move on to the second half, and yes, I mean, we pushed forward. I won't go through all the stats, but we made way more forward passes than they did. So we actually tried to get back in the game. I feel, Ken, watching that second half, we didn't need to have to push so hard so early, and we were getting exposed. I think we could have been a bit more patient, and I think we spoke about it so many times. When the second goal went in, I don't know if you noticed, both our fullbacks must have been 25 yards in their half.
Yeah,
and the guy just pumps the ball forward. Great pass, by the way, and he times his run perfectly from the middle of our half, basically on the edge of the halfway line. But our defenders were nowhere, were they?
They were. No, you're right. You probably could have been a bit more patient and just waiting for the right breakthrough. But I think probably because of the frustrations of the first half, they wanted to try and get that goal back as soon as possible, if you like. And they sort of probably went forward a bit too, quickly, really. We could have took our time a little bit more and probably waited for the right opportunity, if you like. Because we're quite good at that. Having possession, playing it across the back line and just waiting to feed that ball through. But yeah, they certainly took his goal well. The guy did, and there's not a lot you can do. It's 2-0 down. Then you are up against it, aren't you? So that's when we needed to really pile forward and try and get that goal, but it never came.
Well, on 51 minutes, Hurst went through before he scored the goal. Same thing, bit of a soft shot.
Yeah.
On 56 minutes, Kipri gets a yellow card, Vicky, for kicking the ball away. It's a nonsense, isn't it? And then, of course, Hurst scored. How did you see that goal?
The second one, it's frustrating, isn't it? Because, like you said, he timed the run perfectly. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if it was Bobby or Leon, but one of them was appearing for offside, and he's in their own half, so obviously it's not. Yeah. But in that situation, they're always up against it, aren't they? Because they're just trying to track back, and he's broke through, and I think that's the trouble, isn't it? That when we spoke last season about our defensive vulnerabilities, quite often that was through us getting sprung like that almost. Like, whereas this season we've been better up until probably recent weeks in sort of protecting the back line a bit better, and so that there was less situations like that developing, and we've just gone back to a few bad habits from last season, I think, in recent weeks, where we're letting the defenders and the goalkeeper be exposed, and that was the situation. And I think, like I said, maybe if we just started the second half a bit more steady, I think we created chances, and we know we will. We know over a game, I mean, like Radoni could have scored, couldn't he? We know we'll create chances, so maybe just not go quite so gung ho, so that we can, because we left ourselves open there, didn't we? Unfortunately, and then it makes it harder. And how many times can we come back from 2-0 down? I can't keep on doing that, can you?
Yeah. Well, frustrating for me was that we kept, for me, their most dangerous player was Philogene. I thought we did a really good job on him yesterday. He rarely got a shot in. Every time he went inside, the one thing we said, didn't we? The first 5 goals he scored this season were all worldies. He cut inside, bang. And the one thing we did do was stop him getting a shot in. But I think what it did do, Ken, is prevent us getting forward. Milan didn't really get forward a lot, did he?
Yesterday? No, he didn't, to be honest. No. I'd say there was a few players playing below par, and then that's the problem when you got players like Milan who we expect to go forward, and he's got that pace, and he can outpace anybody on his day, Milan, as we know. But he just didn't do it enough, really, on Saturday. And whether that was because the players in front of him or the players alongside him didn't really produce the goods, I don't know, but it's difficult to say. And when you find yourself losing like that, you need to try and get back in the game as soon as possible. And we did. For me, that second half, we didn't do enough to get anything out of that game.
Yeah, I think you're right. Vicky, now he makes a substitution. Now, obviously, on 71 minutes, they bring on Kajusti, Jack Clark, and Azon. So they come on 71 minutes, and we bring on the diminutive character of Jamie Allen for Josh Eccles, which for me, I think, I don't know what you think, was basically because he's on a yellow card and he can't afford to lose anybody else.
Yeah. And I mean, that's just the difference, isn't it? I actually forgot about Jack Clark playing for them, and obviously we saw how we saw him when he was at Sunderland a couple of seasons ago, and I mean, it's just a difference, isn't it? Like, they're bringing on players that could actually turn a game, and we're just doing I mean, not even really like for like. I mean, people have obviously got their preferences. For me, it's always Eccles over Allen. Some people go Allen over Eccles, but either way, it's not anything that's going to fundamentally change the game, is it? So yeah, it's the difference in squad depth there. And I mean, I guess that's the thing as well, isn't it? We were playing against a Premier League squad, and 3-0 didn't really reflect the result. And so, whilst we could be disappointed, I think there's positives to be taken as well, because things like you said about keeping Philogene quiet, and the fact we created chances and all these things, and that it effectively made their goalkeeper man of the match. So there's plenty to be positive about, isn't there? And I suppose it's frustrating that, very much like the Wrexham game, probably could have got more if we'd have had a full strength team.
I think we would have done as soon as we took the lead. Ken, I'll tell you what was a positive for me was Kai Andrews. I thought he came on 20 minutes in a tricky game. I thought he did a good job down that side.
Fantastic. And the fans rose to him as well. They realised now, started singing, oh, he's one of our own. Kai Andrews is one of our own. Because he had brilliant. I thought he'd come on brilliantly. Some of his passes and some of his tackles, I thought he got stuck in. He was quite impressive when he come on. And he hasn't had a lot of game time, has he, to be honest?
Now, also, I don't know, maybe what people think, if you were there, let me know. You were there, Ken. I actually thought when Haji Wright came on, he looked quite lively. Now, I had a message this morning going, lazy git. I won't tell you who that's from. He's also one of our own. I thought he got involved straight away. I don't know what you. I mean, disagree with me if you don't think he did. Just what do you think?
He did get involved. Yeah, but the trouble is, I think it was just too little, too late when he come on. He did all right. I mean, a couple of times he probably could have passed when he took it a bit further, but he did more than he'd normally do. Expect him to do. Put it that way. But that's what we want. We want to have you right firing on all cylinders, don't we? That's what we want.
We do, but also, Vicky, a plus point here. He didn't put him on for Ellis Sims, did he? Which is interesting. No. What do you make of that, Vicky?
That's good, isn't it? I think. I mean, we've seen before, haven't we, that Ellis and Wright can play well together in that first season. Yep. And I think maybe Sims has turned Frank's mind slightly, because it seemed like he always thought that was a direct swap between one or the other of them. But maybe he's seen that there is a potential to play both together. And to a certain degree, then that gives Wright the inclination that if he wants that starting position off Sims, he's going to have to show his in whatever position Frank plays him, and then take it from there. So again, it could only be a positive. And obviously, I'm just happy because I think that Sims just looks happy again on a football pitch, and for me, that's nice to say.
So, obviously, to round up that performance, then Ken, in a paragraph, the day.
Disappointing, but plenty of time to get back on track.
You, Vicky?
Yeah, just a blip. We go again.
Yeah, I think so too. We're still 7 points clear. More importantly, how many clear is it? 9 of third place. And also, you got to remember, these teams are all playing each other.
And 12 points clear of fast-coming Ipswich. Yeah,
so we're well ahead of them. It's just be interesting because Sheffield United, they won again, didn't they?
Yeah.
Southampton, they won. They beat the Blues, didn't they? So it's going to be interesting. To be honest, we can't have too many slip-ups because especially when these teams are winning. So it'd be interesting. It's not the Grand National now, isn't it? We've gone round the course one time. We've not quite hit Beecher's second time around, but when we do hit it, it's going to be interesting from February onwards, I think.
Yeah,
and I still think we've got enough, and we can do it. And hopefully, as we're going to talk about now, we'll do some more comments, but we're going to look at what do we need to look at. Don't we need anything? We definitely do need something, don't we? We'll talk about that. But we'll have a few more comments first, Vicky, if you can, please.
Yeah, cool. So Mark Fields put, evening all, be interested on where Frank wants to improve the squad. So like you said, we'll talk about that in a minute. Ice Chips has put, if you watch the second goal, we're on the attack and Madoni, there's a woeful cross which was intercepted and then we're countered, game over. I think that's the problem, isn't it? When we're pressing, if we give it away soft, that's just the problem with the way we play.
There's too many players up, pushing forward, and if the ball, if they intercepted it, that was a danger. They were going to catch it on the break, and that's exactly what happened.
So Uncle John has put, at least we have the chance to do Ipswich at home in a few weeks' time. That's right, not long. Ian's put two centre backs in their half is asking for trouble unless they have pace, which Kitch hasn't. Basic error again. Dave Sports has put, don't get me started, Claudio. I get triggered when you mention Alan. Bob has put, the important players we were missing at Ipswich is a clear indication we need a minimum of 3 quality attacking players. I'm happy with the rest of our squad. We need cover for Tats, EMC, and Radone. Round of possibilities per, had you looked interested at least, I have a feeling he will start banging them in again, given a chance. Fingers crossed. So you can. Dan's put, who would you like in the cup draw tomorrow? Can the squad handle another cup run? Do you want to chat about that later, Claudio? Yeah. Patak one originals put, McKenna did his homework. They exploited how we push forward without widened numbers, and they won the middle of the park battles. Stuffed Grimes, Eccles, and Rudy both played too far away from Grimes to be continued. Yeah. Oh, here's the rest of it. To be continued. In general, we missed the intensiveness of Saka and BTA. They led by example with their desire to win the ball back. All 11 of Ipswich wanted it more than ours in the first and second balls. Play up Sky Blues. And Robo 76, but not interested in FA Cup. Concentrate on the league. Cup means more games, potential injuries, tired legs. Yes, it's extra revenue, but we'll have a bag full of cash in the Premier League. That's right. And that's it for now, Claudio.
Yeah, so obviously we'll look ahead to Preston in a minute. But so we're looking at the squad, and when you look at our bench, I don't think Latibaudiere is going to see a pitch ever again. I don't think it's ever coming on.
Weird.
Yeah, I mean, Jonah's right, isn't he? He says, does he actually exist, this person? He's never seen him. It's just like a name on the team sheet. Miguel Brau, what's happened there? Because he gave him a few games at the start, not bothering. Jake Bidwell, we know what we're getting with Jake. I'm afraid, nice guy, but for what we want now, he's not the answer. If I look at it this way, if De Silva's the answer, then Bidwell isn't. And yet I don't think De Silva's the answer. That might be a bit harsh. That's how I look at it. Wolfenden has come from Ipswich. He blew hot and cold the last season at Ipswich, but the guy who came on the show said he's better in a 3. We don't play a 3, so it's interesting why we brought him in. I'm not really sure what we did. And of course, you've got Jamie Allen. I think I have to agree with Dave Sports Photos on this one. If you're looking, I don't know how we're doing this season. It's incredible that we've done what we've done. That's one thing. But it is a worry when yet again we go to almost the bare bones. It's not so much it's the quality on the bench, isn't it, Vicky? Is the problem, I think, at the minute.
Yeah, it's as soon as we've got a few injuries. So a few weeks ago, when you've got Sims, maybe like EMC, a couple of players like that on the bench, out Kester Hayden. So you got them, and they come on. They're all players that actually were contributing to it when they came on. We spoke about, didn't we, how that we were actually making subs that influenced the game, and the players were coming in and sort of kicking off at the same level as the players that they'd taken off. The trouble is, once you start getting a few injuries and you're down to the bare bones, then instead of people like that coming on, you're looking at Alan and a couple of like young kids, and someone like you said, like Bidwell or someone. I mean, he's not going to come on and change the game, is he? None of these players. You look at the bench thinking, if things are up against us, who's going to come on and make a difference and turn a game? And then you're looking at the Ipswich bench and you're thinking, any of them could have come on and changed the game for us. Like, I quite like Smodix. He could have come on for us and changed the game. That would have been a sub that could have, that if we could have made that sub, different outcome potentially. And that's the difference, isn't it? And so it's just that bit of depth. Once we just get a little bit light, is a problem.
Because I don't think we've got a couple of quick players, but we're not necessarily a quick team. And I think this is the issue now, especially as we're going to get later into the season. We could really do with maybe one or two players with real pace, and that's how I look at it. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, we need probably somebody that can change the game if we're losing situation. Jamie Allen's great. We've got to come on when we're winning, maybe make just to sew up the game in the last 15 and 20 minutes or so, make a few fresh legs. Jamie Allen does a great job there. When we're sort of losing a game and we want to get back into it, he's probably not the ideal player to bring on, is he? Because he hasn't got the pace or anything like that. And you're right, we're lacking pace. We need probably a pacey winger maybe, or pacey midfield player that can get forward. Someone like maybe that Raphael that went on loan, the one we've got out on loan. That's probably He would have been ideal now, wouldn't he? On hindsight, and in hindsight's a great thing. It was probably a mistake to send him out on loan, and he went out really late on loan, didn't he? If you remember, it would have been ideal maybe to keep him. We didn't really see the best of him, did we? So, but yeah, that's what we're going to look at. I think Frank will have a list of players in January. He'll know what positions he needs to fill, and I'm sure Doug will back him.
Yeah, I can imagine this is it. He'll go, Doug, here's my list of players, and Doug will go. He'll go, this is the list of players here.
No, I think he's got to back him. If he's gambling behind the scenes to get this club into the Premier League, then he's got to gamble on the field as well. You know, if he's getting everything right, set up behind the scenes, which he has. You know, we bought the stadium and everything. It's a Premier League stadium and everything's set up to be a Premier League club. And he's got to really put his hand in his pocket and give Frank what he wants.
Well, the way he spoke on Thursday, he was on about going up. We're looking forwards and we're not looking behind us. We're pushing to basically get promoted. Which is fair enough. Vicky, I still got an issue with the strikers, though. I still think we are lacking. And I know BTA's got pace, but I'm talking about, well, the way Hurst ran through yesterday is what we haven't got. We haven't got a pacey forward who can really run with the ball and look like he's in full control of it and then do something at the end. I suppose Victor, we had it kind of with Victor, but Victor was like, he was like a bumbling forward. It was weird the way he used to run with the ball. It was when Victor used to run with it, it was like it was on a piece of string. It kept coming back to him, didn't it? It was weird, but just direct pace, like Adam Armstrong, that kind of pace on the ball.
Yeah.
Because we're lacking that. And I think in a game yesterday, somebody like that would make a massive difference.
There's a different option then, isn't it? So they soaked up some of our pressure, then broke, and they had that then that Hurst could just break through and score. But we can't do the same. We're having to build in a different way. And so sometimes it's nice to be able to vary it, and it's something we haven't got, isn't it? So yeah, that's yeah. I think you're both right. Some pace. Would
someone like Adam Armstrong, you know, a pacey little forward, something different, as you say, would be ideal. But is there anybody out there that we can get or available in January? That's the problem. That's another thing. Clubs don't want to let players go in January. A lot of clubs do, they, unless they're not in the team.
Yeah, it's frustrating as well because Sakamoto, yet again, like he did the first time he was with us in the first season, gets a real good run of form and gets an injury that you're hoping isn't a setback because you know, he's playing so well and he's now got to get his rhythm again, which is so annoying. But we haven't,
because he really had got some good form, hasn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll go to comments. Anybody put anything in the comments about who we should sign and strengthening and the like?
Look, Rich T's put just as important in January is that we don't let Premier teams nick our players, which obviously is imperative, isn't it? I think because that's the other thing. We don't want to bring in 2 or 3 and then let some out. It needs to be additions. I mean, if players go like these sort of very fringe type players that aren't getting picked anyway, that doesn't matter. But we don't want to be like, I don't know, selling say for example Sakamoto and then bringing someone else in, because that just defeats the object. We need that depth, don't we? So hopefully we can fight off any interest in January. Paragon has put other teams have played them and got a result. It was an underwhelming performance from us, and hopefully we get a result when we play them at home. I think that's Ipswich. So I'll just have a look through to see about any. There's a bit of positivity from Mark Rainbow. He's put, stepping back a bit, we are still 7 points above second, 14 points from 7th, plus 29 goal difference. We have plenty of room for error. Let's just not have to use it. That's it. Just trying to see if there's any names suggested by people about anyone we could bring in. I can't see. I don't know if you guys have seen anybody. I can't. There's a few people mentioning Sargent again. He's a popular choice. I mean, for me, just that's not the answer. But Nicholas James has put, I agree, Mark Rainbow. BTA has that pace and strength. And if he had the control, he'd be more consistent as a number 1 striker. And Mark Rainbow, but I think Franz Beckenbauer would slot nicely in at the back.
This one here, Robbo 76. Asante was our utility man, playing every position when needed. Now he's out, which is right. We haven't got a replacement for both wingers. I think bringing two players who can interchange from winger to striker. So that's interesting.
Yeah, well, that was the thing, wasn't it? Because we had like different players were going out, and then other players were sort of covering, and it almost just sort of rotated around a little bit, and so it wasn't too bad. That's how we sort of managed. Like Rodoni went out, and then I think Torp missed a few games, and Sakamoto missed a few games, and EMC missed a few games, but Asante was sort of covering around, and different players were slotting. But now we've just got that one too many, I think, and it's just showing the depth. Ice Chips has mentioned Charlie Hughes from Hull in defence, which obviously there was talk about in the summer. There's a nice comment from a Ipswich fan who's put, where's that gone? Rabbit Man. I said, hello guys, Ipswich fan here. I hope you got up this season. Great club. And yes, her should have been sent off.
Yes, and a lot of the Ipswich fans we spoke to agreed as well. You know, they'd be, if it was on the other foot, they would be screaming the same.
And Rob 87's put, we need one of those pacey Watford players. Actually, see that some of those, that's a perfect.
Yeah. See, we're not gonna get. I'd be amazed if we get loans. It won't happen. He doesn't.
Yeah.
The only reason we got Rushworth is because we tried to buy him. They must have done a deal saying we'll loan him to you, and we needed a keeper. We were desperate for a keeper. So we had no option. We're not actually desperate for players, are we? If you look at the table, we are top of the table with the squad we got. It's hard to argue that we're desperate for anybody. We just need a bit of more support where you haven't got to have to put a young kid as a goalie as a second sub. It wouldn't be funny if you'd have brought him on front. Stick the goalie on instead. You know, so I think we're not. I've heard people saying maybe go and get some young loan players from the Premier League. If he does that, I will be amazed because Doug's not keen. You know, so
Claudio, who clubs have got to want to release players in January. Who wants to release players in January? If they're either in a relegation scrap or whether they're fighting at the top, they want to try and keep their best players, don't they? And it's not the ideal time to get players, I know, but we'll have to see.
A few people saying news upon Watford, but I can't imagine that there's any chance that Watford will be releasing him in the January transfer window.
We've had this before, Vicky. We'll mention players like Loser, and then in the summer it'll go for 30 million.
Yeah, that's it.
This is the issue, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I really wanted that. What's his name? Is it Azak? I forgot his name now. That was at Middlesbrough and went to Southampton. I'd have liked him, but obviously we couldn't compete with Southampton with the resources they'd got. Yeah. So I liked him. That was someone I would have liked in the summer, but he went off to Southampton instead. And it's just, I mean, they've got the Premier League money behind them, haven't they, to sort of just sneak in with transfers. So that's the problem. Well, I mean, that's the one good thing, actually, isn't it? Our position, top of the table, looking like positive, will help because some players will think, yeah, that's the place to go, even if we can't quite compete financially. It's the place to be, like when you're on your up. So hopefully that'll help.
I'd like to think if we could convince Matt Grimes to come to us when we're 17th in the table, with the premise, oh, by the way, we're trying to get promoted, and he's going, okay. Well, surely, if you're top of the table, you're going to attract players, and you got Frank Lampard.
That's going to be the good thing because people want to play for us, won't they? That'll be an attractive position, attractive proposition for players to come here.
And I've not seen any player not actually try. You know what I mean by that, where you see. I've seen it before with Cov sides in the past, where there's something not right. So even in defeat, they're trying. We're top of the league. You cannot be top of the league unless you're trying hard, and especially when we've got limited resources. We've got to remember that. It's a great effort so far. Incredible effort.
That's it, Claudio, isn't it? Because we've all been to games, haven't we, where the opposition score and you're thinking, well, that's it for the day. Like, game over. We're just going to sit here like depressed for 90 minutes. Like yesterday, we fundamentally we could have won that game. And on things like if that KKH goal had gone in, if the goalkeeper hadn't pulled off so many good saves, all these different things, fundamentally we could have won that game. And there was mistakes and things that were disappointing, but we didn't play so badly that we still couldn't have got a result against a Premier League squad. So there were positives there, aren't there? And that, compared to some of the stuff we've had to watch over the years, that is still better. So still plenty to be well.
I agree with you totally. If we'd have been absolutely rubbish, woeful yesterday, we didn't look like we were going to win, it'd have been a different story. We'd have been really concerned. I'm not particularly concerned. We've lost a game, okay, that's fine. We've lost 2 games. Ipswich are a good side because we've got a Premiership squad. We've got injury problems. We move on to the next game. I'm pretty confident we will turn it around on Tuesday night.
That'd be great if we would. Yeah, I think you're right. We just got to take stock of what happened yesterday. And actually, when they went a goal up, I just thought, oh, well, it's made it a bit more difficult. I didn't think, oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Although I did put in our group game over. The first one I did. I was doing what I've done every game.
Game over.
We've still got loads of time.
I've done it every game so far, and we've turned it around.
Yeah.
So I thought, obviously, that didn't work, did it, yesterday? But I just thought we can still get back into this point. At worst, I was thinking.
Yeah.
So it was a bit, but once the second goal goes in, you're thinking, and I was listening to the commentary, and fair play to Oggy and Rob Gurney kept saying, we can still, this team don't give up, and they don't give up. But I just thought against Ipswich, you can't go gung ho against them like that. You're going to get caught on the break. It kind of reminded me of like when we played Leeds United, really, where you just got to be careful, and you can get caught out. And really, we did the double over Fulham when they got promoted. We turned over Leeds and they got promoted. We turned over Leicester and they got promoted. So it happens that the team who gets promoted can get turned over by somebody. It just happens, doesn't it? So it's no big deal. It's just one game out of 19, 2 losses. It's
the teams that go up are the most consistent throughout the whole season, not just one game.
You can get promoted and lose 11 matches in this division, so it's no big deal. Vicky, some more comments? I bet we've got loads, haven't we?
Yeah. So loads of people said loser from Watford. There's like loads of people said that, so I won't bring them all up. But then Ice Chips has put Frank got some fantastic players on loan at Derby from Chelsea. Don't forget it's World Cup year, and some players may want to loan to get minutes. I think that's the thing, isn't it? Because it's clearly not Doug's business model, but sometimes you think, that there could be a player out there that could just make such a difference. And Ice Chips has said that in a World Cup year, it could be a player that just wants to come out and show what he can do to get into an international squad, and that type of level of player would make a difference. And so, I have to say. Mark Rainbow's put, I read something last week about Chuba Akpom played 6 games for City on loan from Arsenal in the 13-14 season. That completely passed him by. Probably because he was so terrible, Mark. He did absolutely nothing. I don't even think he wanted to come there. He was terrible, wasn't he? Bad attitude. Nicholas James has put, by the way, we will be at Ipswich in 3 weeks' time. So a bang average Ipswich team at home who in the first half had one plan, give it to Philandre. If we had Victor and Tats, we would win that. Dan's put how many going on Tuesday? It's not quite sold out, but it's a few thousand, isn't there?
Nearly 5,000, minute. Not far off.
Was it?
Yeah. I'll tell you what's interesting here. I think, and I could be wrong, but Ipswich on loan, Chuba Akpom, Cedric Kipre, Ivan Azon and Kajuste. So that's like four of their main players are on loan. This is what we're up against.
Yeah.
So we're actually doing really well.
I've just seen this from Ian Small. He must have some inside information. That young Swede's in for a medical, apparently.
Very good.
There you go.
Let's
Rabbit Man, who I'm sure... That's it. Rabbit Man, who I'm sure was the Ipswich fan, has subscribed. So thanks very much to Rabbit Man for subscribing as a opposition fan. Appreciate that. Mark Rainbow's put, totally agree with Nicholas. Ipswich looked miles from unbeatable. We just messed it up. Patek Originals put, a player I would like us to go for is Cameron Brannigan at Oxford. He has the centre midfield minerals that is missing from our squad. Box to box, strong ball winner, and chips in with goals and assists. So that's an interesting one, and also not one that I've seen come up before. So that's an interesting one. Uncle John has put Abduli Mana. People don't make me say names that I can't pronounce now. And Dan has put Ipswich was terrible against Oxford. They aren't that good in my opinion. I think it's interesting with them actually because they do seem to have been building some form. A couple of weeks ago, I was more worried about this fixture, and then they had that sort of little blip against Oxford, and then weren't particularly good against Blackburn. But I suppose the worry is that they seem to be becoming a team a bit like us that can get a result, like going out of results, and that could be interesting in the second half of the season.
In fairness, Vicky, our second half at Oxford was terrible.
Yeah, I was on holiday then.
If anybody watched our second half, they'd have thought, how are these lot top of the league?
Yeah.
It wasn't great.
Dan 1975 has put, we will sign young players from Europe that nobody has heard of. I mean, to be honest, we know from Doug's business model again, it's unlikely that anybody that we've spoken about is going to come in because he likes to keep it quiet, doesn't he? So if there's talk about it, it's unlikely to be going on, isn't it?
If he can keep quiet, the buying of the stadium, I'm sure he can keep quiet if players are coming in.
Yeah, so it'll be someone. Mark Field has seconded the Cameron Brannigan one, so there's a bit of talk about that. Mark Ravis, but I've come around to Doug's thinking on loans. They seem to be expensive, and we don't have anything to show for them at the end. Why spend a couple of million on loan if they can buy somebody? Which is true. I guess one of the potential positives is if you can get a loan to buy type situation. So. And it's someone that's decent that you'd actually want in the long run. I mean, it's a shame that maybe Rushworth couldn't have been agreed on that type of basis where you loan and then you get the chance to buy them at the end.
I mean, that answers the question of Bamford. Sorry, Ken, because basically in that meeting we had, reading between the lines, too old, injury prone, no value, sell on value. We ain't going to have him on loan. Simple as that. It's put or sign him. What's the point?
Whereas I think Vic came in on the loan with a view to buy, didn't he? Big Vic.
Yeah.
When he first
That
sort of
age when they're in their sort of mid to early 20s. I mean, Sheaf was the same, wasn't they? They're all players that came in, like sort of relatively young, sort of 22, 23, and then you sign them. That's more positive. And then Covan has put, that's the thing now, we are the team to beat. So teams will raise their game against us. I mean, that's just a whole new world for us, isn't it, really? We're this being top of the league and teams wanting to knock us off our perch. It's like a different world, really. And Mark Weber's put, haven't 3 of our 4 best signings in recent years come from the January window? Torp, EMC and Grimes, which is true, actually.
It's true, yes.
Yeah. There we go.
Right then, we have a game on Tuesday.
Yay.
Where we're going to the famous Preston North End, the team who won the first double. They won the first Football League in 1888. Cup and league winners.
Were you
They
there?
were the first. Yes, was I there? The first. I'm trying to think. What's the word? Unbeatables. Where we want to call them? What's the
Invincibles.
Invincibles. Yeah, they were the first ones, and with a massive history. I think relegated in 1961. They've not ever been in the top flight since then. So we think we've got it bad. Imagine if you're a Preston North End fan with that kind of history behind you and you've not been in there since
Yeah.
the last time. I mean, they've not been in the top flight in colour yet. At least we've done that. You know, it's all in black and white, wasn't it?
Even their arch rivals, Blackpool, have been in there.
Yeah, they're playing one of these, Ken, one of your balls. Look. I mean, not one of your balls. I mean, one of these footballs, obviously. Oh. Nice little.
Yeah.
Imagine if that had hit Sakamoto in the face. He'd been out for that rest of the season. It's a tough one. It's to try and get the hoodoo. It's a different team every time, isn't it? So it shouldn't matter. But football just brings up these quirky statistics. I've said it before. Barnsley haven't won in Coventry since 1921. So, you know what I mean? That's over 100 years ago now. So it happens. And you're going to Preston, aren't you, Ken?
I am, yeah.
with the hope that we're going to actually not lose for a start would be great. But surely we can get 3 points on Tuesday night, even though they're in the top 6. They've had some indifferent results at home. No one's as good as us at home this season, anyway. So that's just the way it is. But Tuesday night, what do you think?
I'm pretty confident we can go there and turn it around. Yeah. At the end of the day, I look at it. Forget about all the hoodoo stuff. We are a better team than they are. If you write down the name on paper, we are a better team than them. Player for player, I think basically we're better than them. Simple as that. So we need to turn up on the day, and if we do, I think they'll be more determined after a defeat like that on Saturday. They'll want to bounce back. And they know there's going to be a lot of fans there. They're aware of obviously the hoodoo situation, but we've overcome that in the past. We overcome the hoodoo at Swansea, didn't we? And the records have been broken all season. So why can't we just go and break another record and win there for the first time? So we're nothing new because we're a record-breaking team this season, aren't we? So it's now or never, because I think this is the best possible chance we're going to have to go and win at Preston, I think, with the team we've got.
That sounds very confident there, Ken. I was just looking at their lineup because they drew with Wrexham, didn't they, the weekend? Or just like 1-1.
Yeah.
I've got to say, there's not too many. If there's any Preston fans, I'm really sorry. But any fans watching, I'm really sorry. But there's nobody in your team that really stands out to me. Vicky, can you give us any light on Preston North End and their team?
No, not a lot. Sorry. I had a bit of a look to sort of see how they've been getting on, and I mean, there's not a lot of goals going on, is there? I mean, they've actually conceded one less than us, so they're obviously one of the tighter defences in the league. But they've also only scored 26 goals, so our goal difference is better than their goals scored for. So their games are very tight, and like you said, it's been very intermittent. I think they've drawn one, won one, drawn one, lost one, drawn one. So it's all very inconsistent and no real sort of pattern. And you'd like to think we've got more than enough for them. There's no. I mean, with Ipswich, and we were talking about Fidonge and keeping him quiet. You're looking at Preston thinking, I'm not sure who that player is for them. I mean, no doubt someone will suddenly spring out on Tuesday and be that player, but I don't really know who that is at the moment.
Well, they've lost Osmagic, haven't they? Because he's got a 9-match ban, has he? So he's not playing. The guy up front who got pulled up for saying something to somebody. I think it was a racist comment. Is Reece? Is he still there? Has he gone? Has he?
Not sure.
I've seen him play this.
No, has he gone somewhere else? I think they may. I don't know. Unless he's injured, maybe somebody can tell us. But they're currently 5th in the table. They've only lost 4 matches, so it's still going to be tricky, Ken.
Yeah, look, there's no easy. We keep saying this. There's no easy games. But I just think, man for man, we're a better team than them. It's got to end. So it can't carry on and on and on forever. This stupid hoodoo thing they've got. We've got to go there and win. Simple as that. And I think we will.
And we're backed by about 5,000 City fans, which is incredible on a Tuesday night.
Yeah.
I am envious. I'd love to go, but
I just seen a comment on it about that. How can we take 5,000 to Preston? I thought we were only allowed 10,000 maximum stadium capacity. Please explain, Ken. Well, it's up to Preston really. It's a stadium, and they give a bigger away following to most teams. Preston they don't fill it themselves.
It's only 10%
in a cup match,
or 2,000, depending which you can. In cup matches, and 15% for the Carabao Cup. Because if you think about it, we used to give almost 6,000 tickets away to the away end.
That's right, we did.
Yeah.
And Preston obviously struggled to fill the goal ground themselves, and it is quite a big away end there. So Blackburn's another place where we normally get quite a big allocation because their away end's quite big as well. The hole behind the goal there, so. They have got the capacity to give you extra tickets if you want them. Because we sold the first batch quite quickly, they did offer us, obviously,
Ken, what's interesting about Blackburn? Now, definitely a couple of seasons, they gave us top and bottom tier, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
They've not done that the last couple of years, have they?
No, whether that's on obviously it goes on police and safety advice as well. Whether that was something to do with that, I don't know. But we've definitely been to Blackburn when we've had top and bottom.
Yeah. I wouldn't bother if it's raining. Mine. They had another game called off for a waterlogged pitch.
Yeah, no, yeah. Whether we get that now, I don't know. Whether the safety people have clamped down and said no, you can only give them so many. I don't know, but I've definitely been to Blackburn where we've had above and below. So it all depends on the ground and their safety advisors and things like this come into equation now, don't they? Unfortunately, so yeah, so that's why
that's a weird thing. That's a weird thing in Claudio, isn't it? Like you said about another pitch, another waterlogged pitch. I mean, in the Championship, surely there's going to be better drainage than that. I mean, was it really that bad?
That's twice, yeah.
Well, it come to a point they could get fined, for.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got to sort that out, haven't they? It's ridiculous. I'm looking at the fixtures come on Tuesday night, so if I just get them up, bear with me, everybody.
They're supposed to be playing Oxford, I know that.
Yeah, so okay, I've gone backwards now. I can't remember. I've gone the opposite way.
But there's a full program, isn't there? This midweek, Tuesday and Wednesday of Championship fixtures.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm looking at November for some reason.
So it's another 3-game week, isn't it? And I think the 3-game week all the way up to Christmas now, isn't it? So
yeah, for some reason won't let me go to. Yeah, so I know there's games that are going to affect us in terms of how we perform, so we can keep a foothold where we are and keep it going. Vicky, do you see any changes to the lineup? I mean, obviously, we don't know about Sakamoto. Hopefully, Torp will be back. Right starting, maybe. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, probably the changes are going to come down to whether or not people can come back in. So if Torp can come back in, he'll come back in, won't he? If Sakamoto can, he will. I mean, personally for me, away at a sort of fairly physical team like Preston, Sims up front is the way to go. I mean, just regardless of recent form or anything, I always just think that when you're playing a team like that away, Sims is the better option. I said, but would he drop EMC and put Wright on the wing? I mean, I think that I'd probably be starting EMC. I don't think, although he's had some little knocks recently, so I guess it depends. I mean, that's what at this stage I think it's coming down to just getting players through the matches, isn't it? And who's fit and able to start. I can't see there being anything like fundamentally changed for me.
Yeah, what do you think, Ken? Do you think he'll bring Wright in, Sakamoto, if he can? So we don't know Sakamoto. We don't know how long he's out for.
I'm pretty hopeful from what I've heard. I mean, I think that he's got a good chance of coming back for Tuesday night. And Torp, obviously, he was illness, so hopefully that's not too complicated and it'll be okay for Tuesday as well. So if we got Sakamoto and Torp back, I think he'll bring them a pair of them back. Whether Wright starts up front, I don't know. Because you'd have to make a change somewhere else, wouldn't you? Then you'd have to drop Sims possibly. I don't think Sims deserves to be dropped at the moment, because he has been playing quite well. So I think he'll bring back Torp and Sakamoto as the major two first, and then perhaps we don't know about Vidoni. Hopefully Vidoni he's not 100% fit yet. We can all see that. We want a full fire in Vidoni on, don't we? And we don't want to bring him back too quickly. He's obviously still not 100% because his performance on Saturday wasn't great, but he wasn't the only one. He was below par. I think he probably knows that himself. But you've got to remember he's been out for a long time, so it'll take a while for him to get back to full fitness, won't he?
Yeah, I'm looking at the fixtures now. So Middlesbrough away at Charlton. We're at Preston. Sheffield United, Norwich. Southampton, West Brom. Swansea, Portsmouth, Watford, Sheffield Wednesday, QPR, Birmingham. But then Wednesday, we've got some interesting games here. Bristol at home to Leicester. Derby at home to Millwall. So hopefully draw would do us there, wouldn't it? Nice little draw. Yeah. Ipswich at home to Stoke. So I can't see Stoke getting anything at Ipswich, to be honest. And then Hull and Wrexham. You never know, Wrexham, they're blowing hot and cold as well. I don't think we're going to lose on Tuesday.
No.
But am I brave enough to say we're going to finally win? I'm going to go. Here we go. I'm going to say Preston North End 0, Coventry City 2.
Wow.
Oh,
once,
bold.
Yes, come on. If we've got aspirations, in fact, this is more of a game we could do with winning than the Ipswich game, because I think the Ipswich, it's almost like a hiding to nothing sometimes. It's just because of the size of their squad and all the rest of it. And I know the teams have done well there, but I think it's different when you're up against a team you're trying to knock down. And we did it, like I said before, we did it to Leicester, we did it to Leeds, we did it to Fulham in the same sort of scenario. So it's always possible. But I feel we can nick a 2-0 at Preston. I don't think they're that great. The only thing is they've got, Paul Higginbottom. He's a decent manager. He knows how to put a team not to lose, which is interesting. So what I hope doesn't happen is we get the same scenario as Saturday where we're pushing and pushing and pushing and we leave ourselves exposed at the back. Because I think that's the only area we could get done on Tuesday again. If we don't get that right, we have to be better at the back and not get caught in the counter-attack. So that's a long-winded way of saying Coventry are going to win 2-0. So what's your score prediction, Vicky?
I think we can nick it as well, but I think 2-1. I think we'll probably still concede, but I think 2-1.
Ken, what about you?
I'm pretty confident that we can turn them over. I'm going 3-1 away win.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
nice. So I'll go back on the comments. I can see they're piling up.
Yes, they are. Yeah, I just noticed that.
Yeah, so the start something to go back to. So Rabbit Man's put the championships are Finny League results wise, and that's it, isn't it? You can't say anything because anyone could beat anybody on their day, can't they? It's just one of those weird things. Nicholas James has put, I have a feeling we will bounce back and win on Tuesday. We have so much faith in Frank and our lads to win. So that's good to see. There's lots of positivity. That's what we want to see, isn't it? Original said, regarding loans, remember no team has ever been promoted from the Championship with no loan players in their squad. Although I've seen in the comments, obviously James Oakes is reminded that Rushworth is on loan, so we have got a loan player, so we can do that, and so that's all good. Mark Rainbow's put, Frank's response to Rob Gurney's question about the hoodoo was interesting. He basically said, yeah, that was the past, this is now. That's good. I suppose the one thing, I don't know if you remember, I can't remember if you were both there when we had that players evening, and a couple of the players were saying that they wanted to beat Preston because they knew about the hoodoo. So the trouble is, you say it's a different team all the time, but the players do know that that's been going on, and so it is in there.
I think they're well aware of the situation, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Doug Brothers put, I take it you were at that Barnsley game, Claudio, back in whatever year you said it was.
Yes.
Yeah. James had like I said, he's put about the Rushworth though, and Preston. Dan's put Preston have 5 or 6 players out. It's a good time to play them. So hope that's all right. Robert's put Uston and Cove did some brilliant deals on recent players, so I'm sure they've got at least 2 good deals to reveal in January. Looking dig deep to give Frank part of the tools to work with. We're almost there. That's right, isn't it? I mean, I think that's the thing as well, isn't it? No doubt they've got plans in the background that nobody knows about, and would be surprised. A bit like no one had spoken about Grimes coming, had they? It just was out of the blue, and I think that's probably what we're going to see in January. Cam's can't be at Preston North End on Tuesday, but I'll be cheering them on from Munich. Very nice, very nice. The one thing the boys have shown this year is resiliency. We've got enough to come back with 3 points. So that's good. Rounds of possibilities put it's grim up north. Robert's putting Claudio's playing days. Oh, see, everyone's picking on you, Claudio. Claudio's playing days when it was raining, the players warm weathers. In the 1800s, we never had the pitch draining system.
I can tell you once when I was playing for Bubbenall, we played. It was a winter where it was just waterlogged pitches everywhere, and we had to just play anywhere. And we can't remember we were playing now. It was against Snitterfield, and they managed to get this farmer's field pretty much, and they somehow rolled it out and put a pitch on it. Now, with been bad weather, one end had defrosted and was like a complete bog. It was the other end was rock hard. It was bizarre. It was on a slope. And in the first half, I used to play up front, rounded the keeper, shot, wheeled away, arm in the air like Alan Shearer. I used to look round to find that the ball was still spinning in the 6-yard box with two of their players trying to kick the ball and falling over. It was ridiculous. The other end, our keeper caught a ball, fell on the floor and got concussion because the ground was that hard. It was love Sunday football. It used to be brilliant. But, I think we drew 2-2 actually. But yeah, there you go. So, but that's what the Blackburn's pitch has been like. It's ridiculous. Sorry, Vicky, carry on.
That's cool. That's cool. Nice anecdote. Mark Webber's put, is Tats still out on? Oh, if Tats is still out on Tuesday, would you play EMC on the right and Wright on the left?
I'll tell you what, Mark. Yes,
that's a possibility.
I think why not? You've still got strength on the flanks, then, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why not? Why not?
Mark Nicklin's put, never look forward to a game so much as the Ipswich game on the 29th of December. I think that's the thing, isn't it? Because it was a competitive game, and we've come out. Everyone's keen now for that reverse fixture to try and get some like revenge and some.
Yeah, and the Ipswich fans I was speaking to at the weekend were in no way think that they know we're going to play. They're going to play us in a couple of weeks' time, and it's going to be a hard game because they know they were perhaps a little bit fortunate things went for them on Saturday, and 3-0 was a bit of an overstretched result. They thought. Not a true result.
I don't think it reflected, did it? No. But no. We've won games like that. I think we've beaten teams when we've probably scored more than that. Like, and I'm not sure that probably maybe like there's a fair few like that. So we've had some score predictions come in. Finn's put that he thinks it'll be 1-1. Wayne Bruton thinks 1-1. Actually, there's a lot of 1-1s. Dan also thinks it'll be 1-1. Nicholas James, who we can always rely on for some positivity, so that's good. Thinks that as long as we've got Tats and Victor back, we can win this one 3-1. Kimberly Owens put 1-0.
Hi, Kimberly. Who's down in Ipswich with us.
Cool. Sean's put about the bounce back is vital, and I think that's the thing, isn't it? There's another 1-1. I think there's quite a lot of people saying a draw. I think that's the main thing, isn't it? It's imperative that we don't lose. But Alison Berry thinks we can win 2-0. Robert thinks we can win 3-0. Mark Webber thinks 2-0. So there's some good positive. Kim just said hi back to you. Actually, that's another point. I bumped into a Sky Blue fan last night. I was at the Coventry Union Telegraph Hotel for Christmas party, and Jack Thomas.
That's very there, isn't it?
That's only the best for me. Yeah. And that's Jack Thomas is a Sky Blue fan who someone will know was in there, so it was nice to see him. We had a little chat about the game, and that was nice. That's pretty much all the comments now, Claudio.
That's all the comments.
Well, yeah.
It's not faster than you are, Claudio. You'd be still halfway through.
All right. Have to rein you in, Tiger.
Actually, just one last thing, because this is just coming. Sorry, Tony's put out. We did the spinning wheel, and we still haven't, because I've been put in charge of getting all the names off the list, and I haven't had time yet. But we will do that.
We will come back to you with that result. We had a delayed result for that last Sunday, wasn't it? The Kevin Richardson.
It's almost as long as the World Cup draw.
I know.
How did you see that? That was ridiculous.
Oh, that's a bit good
news. I was going to do it this morning, but I was feeling a bit rough for the wear after the Christmas party, so it didn't get done.
We'll come.
We'll do.
So talk of the
that entered is still. We've still got all your names.
The World Cup draw. Caroline said to me today, she says, "Oh, you fancy going to the World Cup?" I went, "You what?" Says, "You fancy going to the World Cup?" She said, "We could go to the World Cup." I says, "Where Italy playing?" I said, "Well, they've not qualified yet, but if they do, their first game's in Canada, in Toronto." She says, "Oh, maybe you can go see Keith." I said, "No, he's in Vancouver. He's over there. We'll be over there." And then she went, when is it? I says, during your term time when you're teaching. She says, oh, well, maybe, I'll tell you what, I'll pay for you to go. I went, what? What's going on here? Feeling the house is going to be sold when I'm not around or something. So, and then she had a second thought. She went, I'll tell you what, why don't we just wait till after the World Cup and maybe go to Vancouver instead? I thought, oh, okay.
I always wanted to go to Vancouver, didn't know that's where Keith was. That's on my list of places to.
Yeah, there's games there as well. But I saw some funny tweets and that today where England's kickoff times are, I think, 9 p.m., 9 p.m., 10 p.m. And saying what are Scotland's kickoff times, and somebody put against whoever they're playing first, it's 10 p.m. Then somebody at 2 a.m. Then against Brazil, it's 11 p.m., 11:05 p.m., 11:10 p.m. every time Brazil score, basically. But yes, I'm looking forward to the World Cup. Anyway, we digress. So, Ken, you've gone for a win, haven't you? 3-1. Vicky, you've gone for a
2-1 win.
2-1. I've gone for 2-0. We'll find out if Miles and Jack what they reckon it'll be. It's the FA Cup draw tomorrow. You know what I love about this, the third round of the FA Cup? Because for years and years and years, when I was growing up as a little lad in shorts, we were always pretty much either number 11 or number 12 in the draw because we were in the top flight. It all depended whether or not Chelsea were in the division with us and whoever else alphabetically were above us in the top flight. And so when I saw the draw and it said we're born number 12, I thought, Ken, this is like the old days. Is it worth entering? Shall we bother with this?
Well, number 12, we're always around that mark, aren't we? 12, just simply because, it's alphabetical order and we're normally 10, 11 or 12, aren't we?
But we are now because we're in the top two flights, whereas before we'd have to come through the back door, basically, and we'd be number 56 or something.
Exactly, yeah.
But the other thing that annoys me about the draw is the fact that they leave the teams up on the screen, don't they? I like the element of surprise. I don't want to be told what everybody's number is.
Yeah, and then your team will disappear once the ball gets drawn.
You still there, Ken?
Yeah, I'm still here.
That's right.
I'm still there. I'll just put that up so people can see.
It's a good look.
It's not on normal TV. On TNT. If you want to watch the draw live, people don't go to BBC. I don't believe it's on the BBC. It's on on TNT Sports Discovery Channel and YouTube channel. So if you're looking for the FA Cup draw tomorrow, it's not on the BBC apparently. It's on TNT. So
what a double bish.
You might get it on the radio live, on BBC Radio 5 Live. But if you want to actually watch it, it's actually on TNT. So
I think that should be on terrestrial TV. I just really disagree with that.
Well, I think they've got a game. I think there's a game on tomorrow night, and one of the replays or whatever is being played tomorrow. So I think they're doing it directly before or after that game.
Right, I'll ask you both then. Let's forget about how long you're going to stay in the tournament. Just purely FA Cup third round, Vicky. Who would you like to play against and where?
I want to be at home. I'd like a home tie against some decent Premier League opposition. Someone exciting. I don't know, like Arsenal, Spurs, Chelsea, something like that. Like just a decent game. Just to pit our wits against a decent Premier League team. That's what I want.
Ken, who do you fancy?
A home game against Aston Villa.
Ooh. You're going to wear your Stone Island?
That'll get the pulses going, wouldn't it?
Okay.
A packed out CBS Arena.
Are you a Stone Island man? Ken, you going to wear your Stone Island for that?
No,
Peter Storm.
I'll leave
Peter Storm. I won't be Peter Storm for that one.
I'll leave that in the wardrobe. But we haven't played them for so long. They're doing well, in the Premier League. They beat Arsenal, didn't they? So it'd be nice for us to pit our wits against them, I think.
I'm not sure. There's been games today, hasn't there, actually? I just got a feeling we're going to get something like Derby away or at home. It's not one
it's going to be something boring like that again, isn't it? Like the same sort of teams, or like Sheffield Wednesday again, or something. Like you just like, I just want to play something different.
Wouldn't it be nice to get a bit of revenge against a certain Manchester United?
I know Miles would love that, Man United at home.
That'd be
guaranteed on the telly. You know, Man United was shown 54 times in a row on the BBC in cup competitions.
incredible.
Didn't matter who they're playing. They could be playing Bognor Regis. They put Man United on. Some of the games, it's ridiculous, and they try and commentate on it like it's a big deal. It's a nonsense. I would like a home tie against the worst team in the tournament. Basically, I'm quite happy with
like
that.
Western Supermare.
Yeah, something like that will do.
Well,
but no, I don't want middle of the road rubbish. Premier League side at home will do. I think this is a season where I wouldn't like to forfeit any game, but you know, the fact we weren't in the Carabao Cup's probably done us a favour, really. The extra 2 or 3 games we didn't need. We've got enough injuries as it is without the extra games. So with a squad as small as it is, and the transfer window only opens at the start of January, and the first tie is already right at the start of January, so that's not going to help, is it?
Yeah.
So whoever you bring in can't even play in the cup probably. So because we won't sign many early on, that's for sure. So if we could get a Premier League side, I think we'd like to play.
It's not Man City. Just because one of my best friends is a Man City fan, and for some reason we haven't played them for years, have we? And every time the cup draw comes out, we're like, "Oh, it'd be nice if we could play each other," and we just never do. So that's quite nice. I'd quite like.
Because in recent seasons, if you look at it, we've played Wolves, haven't we? We've played Burnley.
Yeah.
We've played Forest in recent years. You know, in the league and that. Leeds, Fulham, Brentford's a bit further back. Bournemouth we've played. Sunderland, obviously. Brighton we played in the cup about 6 years ago, didn't we? We got hammered 3-0 away from home. I tell you what, Palace at home could be an exciting game.
Palace, yeah, them for a while.
That would be an exciting game in terms of just the football they play. But I'm with you, Ken. A bit of the Villa, of the Villa at home.
Well, look, there's not many Premier League sides that have played at the CBS, to be honest. There's only a handful. When you think about it, only a handful of Premier that have played there.
And I've got plenty of Villa mates as well who'd love that.
Yeah, they've never played. They've never played at the CBS, Villa. So
I've got to say, in fair play, I'm talking about Villa fans now, but the ones I know, they're a bit like us. They can't believe they're doing as well as they're doing. You know, that's from where they were 2 or 3 years ago, where they probably should have got relegated when the goal line technology wasn't working, and Sheffield United had a goal not given when it was a yard over the line. There you go, Vicky. Any thoughts on cup games? In the comments.
Uncle Jonga's put that he liked Liverpool. Rob quite likes to shout for Man City. Rounds of possibilities put Cov versus Chelsea. I think there's quite a lot of calls for like it being a Premier League team. I think the general feeling is that, like you said, Claudio, we don't want the big run because we haven't got the squad depth. Bob has put Ipswich away. He wants a proper revenge. Use KE's Bournemouth Wood away.
I've just seen that.
Western Supermare away would be a good one.
Be nice for the side, wouldn't it?
Are they actually in the third round? Are they? I didn't.
I think so. They were playing. I'm sure they were winning. So I'm sure that I saw they were still on the.
I'll tell you, it would be a tough game. Would be Macclesfield, because he's doing a good job there, isn't he? I'm savage.
Yeah.
Someone want to play them. With our track record in recent years against teams like that.
Western Supermare in the third round.
How about this comment here? Look, even Switch would talk scores a win against Man United after a ref rules it out and VAR overturns it.
Yeah, see, away from home, a Prem ground would be rubbish because a lot of people are going to miss out, even though they'll give you so many.
That's why I like to be at home. Yeah, at home it means we can all go, everyone can enjoy it. Because there's a lot of kids and younger people. Like I was talking to Jack about this last night. I've seen the Premier League days. We're of a generation that we're old enough to have seen that, but people like that, they haven't. And so if we get a nice draw against a Premier League team, it'd be nice for as many people, and especially some of the young kids, to be able to see that game. So yeah, I'd definitely be best there. but if not, Western Supermare away, so we can all go to the seaside. I've checked they're still in.
Blackpool away. Oh, is Blackpool still in it?
Yeah, they won.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, they won. Yeah, they beat somebody heavily today. Yeah, you saying
Yeah, there's a lot of calls for Man United as well.
yeah, you saying the seaside and Western Supermare. There's a bit of an irony there because I've never seen the sea at Western Supermare.
Well, no.
It's so far out, isn't it?
Just go out for miles, yeah.
So we hope.
Rob, just finally, sorry. Rob's put away to MK Dons. It's obviously another place for a good allocation, isn't it? And quite easy to get to. So
Take 20.
Yeah, but they won't because Wolves tried to take more like we did last time. And they won't give him more than 5,000 there. The place is empty. It's weird. The lack of interest in Milton Keynes now, that's for sure. So, are we all caught up? Are we all happy?
I think so, yeah.
I think we can wrap this up then.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately...
Can I just sorry, Claudio, sorry. If we're going to wrap up, just to finish on a comment that was a sad point. I don't know if you saw this in the news, but obviously Collins just mentioned about Norman, the Charlton fan who passed away yesterday. Obviously that game got called off, and sadly, I know he's a well-known Charlton fan. I think that I've seen in the comments a few people saw he was up at the CBS for their recent game, and so that's obviously sad news, and we give out our respects to his friends and family, and sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it is a shame. Thank you for that, Vicky. Right then, so we didn't win yesterday. Unfortunately, the tractor boys ploughed over us and did what they had to do to beat us. Unfortunately, that's the way it goes in football. You can't win all your games, can you? As Ken would say. Any more cliches to add to that? They're all tough games in this league. Anything else? Chuck them out.
Games, but PNE, here we come.
PNE, here we come. We all three of us fancy a win up there. No doubt there's a Preston North End podcast saying, did you see Coventry? They're rubbish. They lost 3-0 away at Ipswich. I'm sure the boys can come back good on Tuesday. Vicky, Ken, thanks for being on again. Hopefully, by the way, join us straight after when we on Tuesday night with the aftermath. I think I've got to get that right. Good night and play up the Sky Blues.
Play up Sky Blues.
And also top of the league. Top of the league.
Top of the league, yes. Top of the league. Play up Sky Blues.
Sky Blue Fans TV, for the fans, by the fans.